All right, welcome in. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late here. I have so much information that I've been doing research on, and we are going to get started. Okay, so we have so much, and this is our mini class that we have every week. Today, it's going to be intense. Today, we are really going to dive in on how you can rid yourself of leaky gut. Actually, the question you may have is what leaky gut is. So we're going to go in there, we're going to talk about it, and you're going to realize that there are so many people out there that have this syndrome and don't even know it. So we're going to talk to you personally about what's going on for yourself. You can ask questions. The Q&A is fantastic. I'll be here until 1 full hour to be able to be there to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so let's get started. Every week, here's your mini class. Stop sugar, start energy. The focus here is that once you determine what is happening and why you're having issues with losing weight and ridden yourself of the basic diets that are out there and finding solutions. And I support you as a health coach in bringing the latest stuff that's happening with the research today. I'm going to talk to you more in depth why I'm talking about leaky gut and that I've had it before. So I'm going to be sharing my story with you so you can connect with what's going on. Our main purpose, let's lose 10 pounds of belly fat. And the focus is to do it within a month. So this is not a weight loss plan. This is taking care of business, taking care of your gut, learning about your hormones, and stepping in deeper. So welcome into our weekly plan and guidance. If you learn the techniques that I'm about to show you, you will avoid any more extreme sugar cravings and lose weight, lose bloat, and 10 pounds of belly fat. Most importantly, last week I talked about candida and I talked about the skin and how moist it feels. And I told you the test that you could do if you were dealing with candida. And the main thing is that while you're drinking water, if you have stuff that just kind of floats in there, which is more like your spit, your saliva from your mouth, then it's going to lead towards you understanding that you may be having candida. So make sure you get last week's call if you need that. You can put that in the Q&A area. There's a spot there on the right. Today we're talking about leaky gut. And so why are we so focused on sugar so much? So I'm talking about quite a few things here. So let's talk about sugar, and we can focus in on what sugar indicators and triggers are telling you. And usually it's because your body is just off. Your body's off, your sugar levels are up because you want to eat more sugar because you have lack of energy and you're craving it extremely and you have your highs and lows. So sugar is connected with a lot of imbalances. That's our main focus today. But we're going to guide you in if you have leaky gut and what that looks like, because many of my clients feel bloated throughout their whole body. So I'm going to tell you some of the indicators of leaky gut because it's all about finding those tools that's going to repair your system so that you lose weight and you watch it fall off you. Okay, stat. People are consuming, it used to be 60, but 80 pounds of added sugar per day. I just heard a really funny thing. Somebody talking about, you have a child at 80 pounds of weight. I mean, we can visually see what 80 pounds are when we start looking at our children or our nephews and nieces or grandchildren, whatever. Think about consuming that every day. So what does that look like? It's about 80 grams of sugar per day or more. And what does that mean? That you should be doing about 15 grams of sugar. If you're doing more than that, then there's something going on and you're at the right place. But you're consuming over 400 calories a day. So I want you to stick to the end of this call because I'm going to give you specifics that you need to do that's going to rid 400 calories a day of sugar that just sits right on your waistline. So you ready? So what do you think would happen if you drop this 400 calories? At the beginning, I was talking about the lose body fat, lose that belly of 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and we can go on as the months and the weeks really focus in on weight loss. So look at the picture on the right here. We're going to talk about the issue with leaky gut. And I want to transition into this because right at the beginning, we were talking about sugar, and that sugar is there for you to help you through your imbalances. So I want you here, if you're struggling with having these big sugar cravings. And then I'm going to go in deeper with your leaky gut. So at the top there on the right, you're going to see that leaky gut is a lining that happens. Well, let's talk about the stomach. It's the lining that happens within the whole digestive tract that can be broken down based on eating too much sugar, based on, and I'm going to give you a list in a moment. If that lining and that net that protects your intestines starts breaking apart, and you don't have to feel pain. So we have people who have celiac disease based on gluten, but you could have stuff where there's not specific pain, but it's uncomfort feeling throughout the body. And I'm going to talk more about that. But it's a lot to do with food intolerances, and that we'll get into even deeper. But millions of people are struggling with leaky gut, and they don't even know it. It's a big word right now because research and connection and the stuff that I'm going to show you is something we used to not call it leaky gut. We can call it anything we want. We gain weight and we can't lose it. We have weight in our midsection, and no matter what, we can't get rid of it. Our sugar levels are up. Thyroid problems are happening. Whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to bring all those issues that I just threw up there in the air, and I'm going to bring it together for you. So you have a sure plan, and you have that feeling that you know where you are in your health plan, in your healthy plan. And you know the steps you need to do to lose 10 pounds. Millions of people are struggling with this and they don't know it. So right now, I want you to focus on your energy for this hour. I want you to not have that butterfly brain where you are looking at your phone, where you're having other windows open. And I want you to focus here because it took me even moments a little bit late to even get here because I had so much information I wanted to share with you. If you decide to walk away or look at something else, something's going to happen with your energy where it's going to shift and you're not going to get the full benefit of being here. And I know that the reason why you're here is there's specific purpose why you're here. And it could be for different reasons. And if you focus, we're going to get you through some big changes, and you can be at this one call today and have massive changes. So welcome in. Energy, not time, is the fundamental currency of high performance. We want to increase energy. We want to rid our body of sugar cravings. And we want the byproduct of all this bad food that we've chosen, or maybe sugar binges, not choosing the right foods, may have hurt our lining in our stomach. So let's get into it. Take a deep breath. Focus on opening up your arms just like the first person. Stretch. Now you're going to exhale and make it nice and strong with a big exhale out. You're going to inhale again, open up the arms and shake it out. And a big meditative exhale. Hello, I'm Rhonda. I am an author of The Fit Solution, and I want you to get to know me a bit more before we get involved in this whole process. I am a blogger. My main focuses are on healing the body internally to look beautiful on the outside. Do you have the energy that you need? And the blogging that I do is writing that really supports you, and videos within there. So make sure you check that out. Also, I do media. I'm a professional speaker, and I get in front of people and get people focused and motivated in specific areas. My main area is being a holistic coach and giving you those tools to live day-to-day life in a more balanced lifestyle. So welcome in. So I'm going to talk to you as a food expert. There's going to be stuff I'm going to tell you about specific foods that you want to do, specific lifestyles that you want to do. And I want you to connect with food to your wellness plan, because every cell in your body is cleansed or hurt based on the food that you're doing, based on thoughts, because the struggles that you have day to day can be hard and stressful on your body. And so your food is your nourishment in your life. So the stuff we're going to talk about today is directly connected with that. Directly connected with that. We're going to learn how to just declog the whole body, the energetic system for quick weight loss. Through this, your first area, what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to take you through a quiz. If you've done this quiz before, then you already know certain areas where you're stuck. This quiz is an organ quiz that you're going to learn about your kidneys and your liver. And I did it last week, so if you've already done it, you already know your information, but I want you to revisit it because since we have a full energetic system, sometimes one organ can be off, then the other one also gets affected, and it goes back and forth. So it's not always leading to one thing or another, but it could be that you have heavy stress and that your liver feels more of the pressure. It could mean that you're dealing with tons and tons of sugar and that your kidney is going to be off. The reason why we're doing this quiz is that if you are having big struggles in your kidney area, this quiz is going to be the first step to you knowing if you're struggling with leaky gut, and I'll connect you with that. So, insight on what may be causing your issues here is if you have any food allergies, low energy, joint pain, thyroid disease, autoimmune conditions, slow metabolism. So this is your whole body interacting with itself. Autoimmune conditions, your body's attacking itself. So what's going on there? Thyroid disease. A lot of thyroid disease means your thyroid hormone is off. Usually that is related with gluten, and it affects your hormone. That hormone, that thyroid hormone, deals with everything in the body, from nourishment of cleansing the cells to giving the body energy. And people who have thyroid disease have even a struggle taking one step after another forward and moving forward in their life because it's painful to even step. And I've had times like that too. And in my story, I'll explain more about my thyroid disease and my process of healing. Low energy, be very aware that that's a good indicator that something deep is going on, because your body's going to slow down to try and take care of that area that it's struggling with. So I'll outline specifically how you can heal leaky gut syndrome and break through this health problem that you've been struggling with. Now, who knows what you're struggling with? So we're not putting any label on it, but we're focusing in on weight loss and what is stopping you from doing that. So it might be an issue, and you may not even, you could go to the doctor and maybe you're fine and looks like 100% healthy. But if any of those things above are happening for you, I want you to step into your wellness plan and grab it and take care of it before it becomes anything medical. So I call this your knowledge hour. You're spending an hour here. You're going to get some great knowledge, and you're going to get the steps that you need to keep moving forward. Also, this is your refresh look at health opportunity. If you've never worked with a health coach, I'm going to get you in there deeper as a food expert and getting you connected with any of your aches and pains, and the connection with, today we're talking about leaky gut. So this may be a mind shift for you. Will most people pass this up? Of course. We were just talking about millions of people having leaky gut and not even knowing it. But we do know quite a few people in our life, it doesn't matter if they're family or friends, that are not taking care of themselves the way that we know that if they only knew what was going on, that they would want to make these changes. But not everybody's into that. So you have to be very gentle and not do any judgment. So the stuff that you're going to learn today, I want to make sure that this is pretty powerful stuff, and that you're not going to promise yourself, you're not going to take this information and start visually looking at people and start judging. It's a really hard thing because we like to judge people based on, what they're looking like, oh, they've gained weight, or all this kind of stuff. But you know what the truth is? And this is one coaching tip I'm going to tell you today. Anybody that's gained weight or is gaining weight is under stress conditions. There is nothing to be mean about. So if you're personally here struggling with your weight, I got you. And everybody in this community that works along with me through the weekly calls to actually being within programs, we're all working as a team, and there is no judgment. New people coming in, it's just a good way to kind of envision that you're more of a group that is here to support you. So the real question is, are you going to stay to the end so we can focus and get through this process? I'm also going to give you some guidance in how you can work with me even deeper. If you're not ready for that or interested in this point, I'll walk you through the steps and you can find out what's happening for this next month and a few months down the road where you can work with me. You can stay with her every week and learn more and more of all the free stuff that I'm giving you to support you through your wellness plan, whatever works for you today. So where do we start? Get to know yourself. And is your body absorbing everything? Remember, we talked about that the netting in your body can be broken down. That is a net, a safety net that's all through your digestive tract. So know your why. Earlier, we took some breaths and we kind of got ourselves relaxed. I want you to sit up tall in your sitting bones and roll your shoulders back. So what is your daily biggest struggle? There's 3 questions there, but it may be something different. And then this area are the 3 that you're going to find with leaky gut: bloat, fatigue, and pain. Sometimes things run in our family, and we'll say something is happening because it runs in our family. And I believe that's true. No way that consistently in your family that you're going to have heart condition or you're going to have diabetes, because most likely it's running in the family. But you have to take a step back and think about, what are the foods that your family ate? What are the stressors, and how were they emotionally equipped to handle life with the big struggles we have every day? And what is it that you're doing that you may have gotten from your family? And what are the things that you want to do today and connect with to rid yourself of bloat, to rid yourself of fatigue and pain? What's your biggest daily struggle? Also knowing your why to keep you here and keep you focused. What would you do to get results and have a breakthrough to energetically open up your body? So I'm going to give you steps that you're going to be able to do, certain foods, certain steps that you need to do to heal a leaky gut. But you want to be aware of where you are in your mental plan, your healthy plan, and where you want to go with this. Because I want your energy and your full attention to moving forward and breaking through. What would you do to get results? Are you going to take the 3 steps? Are you going to practice that this week and see if you feel better so you're ready for next week? So you're at the right place. Stop sugar, start energy, and lose 10 pounds of belly fat. So my story, it's a quick one, but I want you to know that this is all related with what we're talking about. So it's really important because I kind of see myself as a case study today in our discussion. But when I was younger, I was having problems with energy and bloat. I was a very slender girl, but by the end of probably by the end of lunch, my pants would hurt me, where it even hurt to keep my pants buttoned. And I would always, it emotionally affect me, because I thought, wow, everybody's having fun. Nobody is like everybody just seems free in their body. And the way that I see it today is I feel like I was a prisoner in my body, because I felt uncomfortable and I felt like this wasn't the right body, like something weird was happening. And so I was first diagnosed probably in 6th grade with just being low iron. And the biggest thing you're going to find today with leaky gut is that you can't absorb a lot of stuff. And so I was having big issues, and I was taking 3 or 4 supplements of iron a day. And of course, that slows everything down. And that's sometimes when you have some bowel movement issues also. And as I did that, they were even saying I had a hole in my heart, and there was all these things happening, but nothing ever happening really with my thyroid at this point. But as time went on, I kept eating quite a bit of junk. I'd eat some vegetables here and there, and I was very connected with my workouts. And I thought working out was the thing that I had to do, and that was the biggest thing that's going to get me to where I was. Well, in my 20s it did, but I was still struggling. My weight could fluctuate back and forth, but I had the energy, and I was a person that would just go, go, go. And then as I started getting into my 30s, I started slowing down. I couldn't focus, and I didn't realize this, but in my 20s when I was going to school, I couldn't even focus really on a book to fully function as a reader. And I didn't know why, but my brain, I just had a hard time focusing. So I did have low energy, and I couldn't even focus on a page very well, which was directly connected with my thyroid not working well. So then I became thyroid deficient on medicine. And as I started going through the process and being a health coach, I've learned so much about food. And with taking medicine and starting to lose my hair and symptoms not being the way that they were, not, I was not healing. My symptoms were getting worse. And as we know with medicine, your medicine can become where you have to increase it. And as time goes on, we call age, as we get older and the doctors say, well, you're in your 50s, so, this is going to happen. Well, this is just age appropriate. This is what's going to happen and expected. But if we don't ever give ourselves a chance, like I didn't at this point, to start aligning my food, instead of eating so much sugar and junk, instead of pulling a packaged food and just eating it real quick, and I started changing all that. And I started realizing that more hair was growing back. And I noticed that whenever I ate certain foods, my whole body would bloat. And I'm still dealing with this today. And I've come up with a solution. And you're going to find it today, because in here is the latest research that I've done on me as your case study today. And all the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you is stuff that I'm doing right now, and stuff that makes me lose weight really quick. If I don't do this stuff, I instantly bloat up and I instantly swell under my eyes. And so when you start taking the quiz, which we're going to do in the next section, if you are leaning towards kidney issues, then that's exactly where my alignment is. And that is the first indicator that you're having problems with leaky gut. So let's get in there. So I want you to connect with what my story is that this is where I lose weight quick. This is where I've learned that my thyroid disease is related with gluten, is related with not eating the right foods that have been nourishing my intestines. And every time I switch and I add it up to exactly what I'm going to share with you today, nothing but good happens. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 areas here. What are your sugar cravings telling you? I'm going to go into the second section. What are the symptoms of leaky gut syndrome, and where to start and rid yourself of your leaky gut? I want you to just look at yourself and say, you have a beautiful body. I have a woman that is, that's one of my clients, and she's almost 300 pounds and she is young, and she's losing probably 8 pounds a week. And I asked her, I said, are you looking at yourself and telling yourself that you're beautiful? And like, oh, no, not yet. Oh, no, not yet. And I said, but just last week you had 8 extra pounds on you. So when are you going to tell yourself that you're beautiful? If you have 10 pounds to lose, if you have a couple 100 pounds to lose, if you're way up there and you know that you need to lose 150, 100, when's the time that you're going to tell yourself that you're perfect? Your body is bloated or gaining weight because of specific reasons. So I'm giving you the tools today, but I want you to stop and look at your body and say it's beautiful and it's perfect. And your body's trying to heal itself, so that's why it slows down to try and take care of other areas. Let's go into the first section here. What are your sugar cravings telling you? First thing is that when your brain is not thinking in full capacity and you feel sluggish, that's a connection that you're eating too much sugar. The top, we were talking about that sometimes we eat about 80 grams of sugar a day, when truly we should only be eating about 15 grams of sugar if we want to maintain a brain that's connected, that can focus, that can be strong, that can endure a hard life. We have intense days that we have to deal with. How are we going to build our plan so emotionally we can be the monarch of, or the leader of our family, to be able to support them, that we can be the person that we already know that we are, that we can envision. Let's keep the brain connected with how our body is doing, because your brain is connected with your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, and how everything is working. Think of your body as a full energetic system. If your brain is off and feeling like it's struggling or has its slow, sluggish times, that's a concern. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about just your brain and being able to learn new things. And so there's just a word that's called plasticity. I don't want to go into it deeply today, but what's important about that is that you're connected with being able to make new changes. And if you're struggling in the kidneys area, which we're going to be going into the quiz in just a couple slides here, that usually we have fear of doing anything new. And that's going to be one of the things we're going to be asking you about your emotions and how you're feeling. So when you're eating too much sugar, your overall body chemically is off and it's going to naturally struggle. When you're eating tons of sugar, that is a sign that your body is struggling with something even deeper. The sugar that we usually pick up is because we want that high of being able to get ourselves through the day and give ourselves the energy. And even taking a step back even further than that, people that you may have known or people that you know now that are doing drugs or drinking that are really not following the rules of, not doing drugs, not drinking as much as you should be like every day. And taking a further step, usually people are self-medicating. Sugar is a self-medicated step. It means something else deeper is going on. So let's get into the quiz. So let's bring all that stuff that we just talked about, quite a bit of information. But right now we're going to focus in on the quiz to find out our first step if we're having leaky gut issues. This is a signature quiz that I put together, and it helps me in depthly to be able to make decisions that when I'm working with clients. So you have a Q&A box. If you have any questions as you're going through this, we're going to go through pretty quick. And if you need the quiz, I want you to send me an email at rhonda@rhondaliebig.com and ask me for the quiz and I'll send it to you. Or you can put it in the Q&A, whichever works for you. This is important because we're going to connect it with the leaky gut. All right, so physical symptoms when your kidneys are off. Before we step into this, I had a client that had basically every symptom in here. Within a month of her connecting with the 3 steps I'm going to teach you, Anna made big changes in her life where she dropped a lot of fear and trepidation when she was in groups. She was able to sustain noise because if she went into a room and there was a group, she would get stressed. If she was feeling like she wanted to say something, she used to not say anything. She'd just be quiet. To now she's in groups and she's speaking up. She was getting up 7 times a night going pee because she had kidney stones, and kidney stones runs in her family. This quiz I'm about to give you, she took this quiz. We figured out that it was kidneys and we stepped right into solutions. So this quiz is going to give you the 3 steps you need to do if you're stuck in your kidneys. First question. Do you have dark purple or veins around the ankle? This is a sign that around the vein area on your outside pinky toe or pinky in your hand to the outside of your ankle. It's the energy that flows from your kidneys. And if your kidneys are struggling, you're going to have pains in that area specifically. Second one is the pinky toe is pink or red. I had a client that was on vacation and she ate tons of sugar. I didn't know it. She was telling me that she was having these pains that she normally doesn't have. And I said, have you been eating a lot of sugar this week? Yes, because I was on vacation. I ate way more sugar than I used to. All right, so let's do these steps. You're going to learn the 3 steps coming up later. You're getting up in the middle of the night to pee. Swollen under the eyes. Losing hair in front. The hair in the front is connected with your kidneys. When I was taking my medicine for thyroid, I was losing tons of hair in the front. All right, so live in fear and trepidation. Anytime your water system is off, your nutrients are not getting to where it needs to get, you're going to have deficiencies. You know what? That affects your brain. The top of the section 1, we were discussing that. Not being able to step in new things. Loss of will. So if you have sugar in front of you, you go, I've already screwed up anyway, so I'm just going to eat this. Or you will not have your boundaries with people and people will take advantage of you. And that's another story. that you cannot move beyond your fear. So you're not going to do anything new. Why? Because you don't need to. Well, doing new things. Like today, I'm going to have you make some changes and shifts. It's time to move beyond the fears and say, all right, I'm going to do this because I'm going to trust this process. It's going to make me feel better. So if you have anything in the physical, and I'm moving right now into the emotions, these two slides right here, I want you to have your check boxes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you have anything out of this section, I want you to put the number of ones that you have. We're going into the liver section. Problems with dry eyes, headaches on the side of your head, 2 lines in between the eyes, your big toe aches, head or shoulder hurts. Now, this is connected with your physical aspect of liver. You may cross over and have a couple different things because your body usually only can handle one thing, trying to take care of it. And sometimes your symptoms will come across on both sides. And if it does, I would go and lean more into that you need to work with your kidneys first. And that's another story, but that's the direction you need to go. Now, what happens with liver, the reason why we just shifted gears here is that liver is usually stressed with, is in the area of being angry fast. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And just only like having a hot trigger. And so it's so funny because I'm starting to branch out my business into working with holistic practitioners. And the chiropractor I'm working with, he specifically talked about this. And it's really funny because you can actually see it in somebody when they have only so much patience. And sometimes it's because you're going to see the next slide here, emotions. Have a hard time starting the day, so you're stressed. And that also means your liver enzymes are off. Enzymes is what brings that energy to the body. You're easily angered and easily frustrated. So if you're working on something and you're frustrated, that this is leaning towards you having issues with your liver. So you have your 8 boxes here, and you're going to choose which area that you are stuck in. Was it your kidneys or was it your liver area? And where is that big, heavy spot here? So this is going to be your first step. If you are stuck more in your kidneys, this is going to bring you into your first step that we're going towards having leaky gut syndrome. So what is too much sugar? We talked about over 15 grams of sugar. And we're looking at if you're having issues with kidneys, your kidneys is your life force. That is where you get your energy. That is where you get your strength. That's where you can make big goals. You can be a problem solver. You can make big changes in your life and get out of ruts. So that is your life force. So let's keep going and focus in on the kidney area. We're going to go into the second section. Make sure you take notes that is the spot that you're stuck. Now, what are the symptoms of a leaky gut? Let's go right into it. Depression and anxiety, which we were talking about with our area of kidneys. Depression is because chemically your brain is having a hard time. Not enough fluids in there. It could be that there's a big imbalance and that you're not getting any nutrients and you have big deficiencies. So not stepping into anything new. So what is stopping you? What's stopping you from sticking to the same old plan? And thinking about, are you really going to live your life exactly the way you're living now? Or are you going to step out of that fear and give yourself the big shift that you need? Gluten is very much known to be stuck in that area of having thyroid disease, having leaky gut because your gut gets broken down by gluten. Anything that glues something together, wheat, it's usually wheat, rye, and barley, that it helps keep our breads together. And if you ever eat anything that's gluten-free, it's going to be so thin, paper thin, that can barely hold itself together. So things have changed. We used to not eat gluten so much. And our wheat plant did used to look different, and we thought our bodies were fine with that. But once you start pounding and pounding on dough and making dough in a mass productive way, there needs to be something that's going to keep that together so that it can be processed quick. So there is more gluten around. Well, our body doesn't recognize it so much. as a wheat plant because it's been processed, it's been broken down chemically, different than the original plant, and the body doesn't understand it. If something is gluing something together, that's going to be hard on your lining because it's going to stick to the lining. Things are not going to move so fast. You're going to have problems with your bowel movements. Your body's going to be sluggish. Your body's going to lean towards leaky gut. So that's your step 2. Are you eating gluten? And are you feeling like you're eating a lot of it? So it's connected with your sugar intensity too, because gluten is usually bread, which translates to sugar in your body. Gluten is crackers. Gluten is quick things that get you quick energy. The general symptoms is the progression. You start off with stress. Stress builds and there's toxins in your body, and then food particles get stuck within your digestion and things slow down and sometimes break the wall of the netting and gets into your bloodstream. And that's the beginning of really understanding what leaky gut is. If you've taken drugs in the past from, when you do antibiotics, and it's called anti instead of probiotics, things that heal your gut. Anti means it's hurting the gut. So the antibiotics, if you're taking quite a bit of that as you're growing up. I did have a client, John, and he took tons of antibiotics, excuse me, throughout his young childhood. And he had a lot of these symptoms and stressors. So if you've done that as you've been growing up, or you're having these infections, which last week I talked a lot about candida, but the drugs are going to break down your intestines. And then also organ malfunction. So we specifically focused in on 2 organs that support the body and really keep everything energetically moving. Well, if you have any organ malfunction where things are just not working well, then that's another area that's showing you that there's some issues with having leaky gut. Intestinal inflammation. So your net in your digestive tract gets damaged, and those holes, since things get stuck there, get larger and larger, and it opens up space within that netting, within your intestinal wall, and so it goes straight into your bloodstream. You have total body bloat because things are going into your system. Well, you're going to have inflammation in your wrist, inflammation in your knuckles, inflammation in your ankles, so shoulder, arms, and legs. Thyroid condition, fatigue, joint pain, headaches. Again, we're going straight to the brain. Skin issues, rosacea, rashes, acne, weight gain. And we're talking where you're trying to lose weight and you're not losing weight unless you rid yourself of the gluten or you rid yourself of specific things. But besides that, if you just cut down your calories, there's not much weight loss there. You just feel like you're on this plateau. Frequent colds. So sinus sensitivities, 80% of your immune system is wrapped around your digestion and your body being able to absorb the nutrients. If you have leaky gut and things are coming into the bloodstream, there's nothing being broken down and absorbed for the immune system to be strong. So if you have common colds, common feeling like your body's aching, that is an indicator. Also colon, that you're constipated. Because your body, everything kind of gets stuck and it gets sluggish. First thing is things are getting stuck. The second thing is your body's slowing down because it's trying to take those white blood cells, are trying to take care of areas that it needs to take care of. And so it's slowing everything else down so that it doesn't take up the energy that needs to be used for taking care of your kidneys, taking care of the flow of the energy in your body. So these are the 3 areas where you have malabsorption. These are the hardest ones to absorb: iron, zinc, and B12. As women, we need the B12, but we can easily be deficient in it. So I know we have our menstrual cycles and we're losing that B supplement as we're the B12 vitamin within our body. But if that's consistently happening and you're not replenishing your body and there's no way for your iron levels to get up to, the first thing is you want to bring all this information together. Remember, we're building your wellness plan and where you're stuck and where you're feeling your pain. So what are the 3 steps to rid your candida? Oh, I said candida there, didn't I? I guess that's what happens with, with having weekly stuff. So our 3 section is actually to rid your body of the leaky gut syndrome. So let's just move on from that here. As we know, we're all human here. Remove foods and factors that damage the gut. So what would that be? We talked about gluten. We talked about high sugar, bringing your sugar down to 15 grams. And replace with healing food. So let me give you that list. So right now, we're stepping into action. So I want you to be actively taking notes because here's your list. I want you to do warming vegetables because that's going to nourish your kidneys. It's going to nourish your spleen because we're rebuilding this. You want your bone broth because within that bone broth, you want the nourishment and the collagen, the attachments that bring that bone together. So if you have a whole chicken, make it like you're going to do chicken soup. Pull off the chicken, and the meat actually right now may not be good for you except in small portions because your metabolism is slow. It takes quite a long time for you to digest meat, which is going to bring on bigger weight gain. So if you look and you go, why am I gaining weight? I'm not eating that much. And I was talking to a client this morning about 5:30 this morning, and we were discussing that. It's like, I'm not eating much. And it's because your body is inflamed and your body's not digesting food. So as soon as you go off your diet, if you're doing old school dieting, instantly you're going to start gaining weight and your bloat is going to happen within your belly. And the pain is going to come back because you haven't learned to eliminate specific things. So bone broth is going to help build that. Anything with coconut, so coconut products. So that would be coconut oil. Even putting coconut on your skin is so healing, but using coconut oil for when you're basically doing any kind of foods within cooking. Also, you want to do coconut water. If you're doing drinks, add some coconut water in there. Sweet potatoes to nourish and heal the body. And you want to feel calm, and that's going to also give back to your kidneys. Yams, peas. I still have a hard time with peas. I eat pretty much every vegetable in the world, but peas is not one of them because I have this whole childhood memory of having tons of peas on my plate and my uncle saying, eat those peas. And I remember eating those peas saying, I'm going to eat this because I want to be as healthy as possible. And that's how I got through it. But it'd take me about an hour to eat those peas. Beans is good to absorb as it's going through. You have your fiber, and this is the soluble fiber. So as it's going through your digestion, it's going to help heal. It's going to pull all that food that's getting stuck there, and it's going to start healing. So it's going to slowly collect your extra cholesterol that's kind of been sitting there or just absorbing in your body and making your cholesterol off. And it's going to go slowly through the digestion, and that fibrous stuff is going to start making the bowel movements go quicker and more often. Squash, zucchini, chia seeds. That's where you get your great omega-3. You get a lot of vegan benefits from chia seeds. If you like tea, try milk thistle. And you can get that through Amazon. You can probably get it through your local store, but for sure a health food store, you'd be able to find that. So earlier I asked you, what's your next steps you're going to do? Are you ready to hold on to those 3 steps? Are you ready to hold on to adding the nourishing food, to ridding yourself of gluten, which is intense? It's hard to rid yourself of gluten and the extra sugar. Those 3 things. And I want you to find the healing powers that your body naturally has. And you have to be ready to restore balance on all levels of your body, mind, and also your spirit, your connection with your life force, your organs, to be able to work fully functioning so that you don't get kidney stones or liver stones, that you don't have arthritis to the point where you can barely move. Let's do something about that before it takes over your body. So you've come to the right place. So everything I've shared with you is based on my story and the results that I've been getting. And I've talked about other clients dealing with their own stuff. And the strategies that I'm sharing with you is fully focused on your energy plan. So the sugar elimination to 15 grams, to really understanding, do you have leaky gut? Was there anything in there that just looked reasonable in what you are dealing with? Then that's your energy plan. I'm giving you the strategies to move forward. Remember, I said that you need to take one day at a time, and that everything that I've done, I've learned as a health coach and learning with clients and watching new changes happening. And I don't have access to exclusive resources and tools, but I took you through my signature quiz to help guide you. So you know that this works for others. And so I want you to step in and use the 3 strategies. And the obvious question is, how do you get the results now that you've tried in the past? Do you have your energy fully focused? Do you have your 3 steps that you're going to do today? So I'm going to introduce you to something new. And I want you to get out of the complicated and confusing and being able to make choices that are going to make your body feel great. And I'm going to put it into simple and put it into a structured format. And I want to introduce you to Energy Unleashed. We focus on learning to reset your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is over 87, that means there's a shift happening within your body and you need to be aware. We're talking about your wellness plan. If you're pre-diabetic, or if you're along the lines of your doctor saying, well, you're at that age, so you don't need to worry about that. Go back into we're not talking your sickness plan. We're going into your wellness plan. What's the connection that you know that you need to do to make yourself feel excellent, to turn your whole health plan around into a wellness plan? And not having to go to the doctor and get your blood test done, but truly listening to your aches and pains and knowing that something's going on. And I heard people say, I have these symptoms like I have thyroid stuff. But my doctor keeps telling me that I don't have it. Good. I'm glad that you don't. And don't wait for the doctor to tell you that you have terrible results happening. You want to get in there and say, well, what are those symptoms telling me? You're going to learn this in Energy Unleashed because we're going to go deep into this plan. You're going to eat, and we're not going to put you on a diet so that you can lose 20 pounds of belly fat. And we're going to teach you how to go into a nice, smooth cleanse throughout this whole journey of Energy Unleashed. Each quarter, I do a thing called the detox. Now, this plan is different. It's called Energy Unleashed. And we're learning how to cleanse the body throughout different areas. And I'll tell you what that is. Your Energy Unleashed is a no-fail plan. If you are present and you meet up with me, each of the space of the modules, you're going to be learning so much about yourself. And this is all going to be about you. And the coaching is centered in teaching you about yourself so that you know your body and you never go on a diet. You're not one of those billions of people that are spending tons and tons of money on the next diet plan or the next diet book. What you're going to learn in this 4-month program is centered focus about how you're going to have a no-fail plan moving forward. You're going to have this whole reset and you're going to connect in these 4 areas. And it's all connected within the 4 months that you're going to be spending in. I want you to start opening up the screen to rhondaliebig.com and Fit Camp. There's a hyphen there. We're going to reset everything because as women, we have some hormone stuff going on. And once that's off, there's things that can happen with cancer, with having diabetes, with having thyroid stuff. So we're going to reset stuff. We're going to reset the estrogen. We're going to reset thyroid, testosterone, growth hormone, insulin, and cortisol. And later I can go into that deeper if you step in and exactly how we're going to reset that. But you're going to learn that once those hormones come in alignment, each hormone that is off is connected deeply with emotionally how you're feeling. Because emotions are related with vibrations and how good we're feeling, how bad we're feeling. Have you ever thought about when you say something about somebody that's not good, just think about the vibration you feel in your body and how that affects your hormones and the smoothness that happens within your energy. You're going to learn that through here. Anybody that's with me over 2 weeks, for 2 weeks or over, these are some of the results that you can be getting. Weight loss of 12 pounds. Well, You can do 12 pounds if within those months, so you can go 20 pounds of belly fat if you fully focus. And you can go even further because you're going to learn how to declog yourself. You're going to lose inches off your hips. Since the sugar levels are going to come down, the clearness within your vision is going to help. You're going to release mucus and stop that daily drainage. So if you're clearing your throat or you have extra mucus going on, this is related with your kidneys being off. And your energy is going to increase automatically. Working with the coach gets you directly into that area of increased energy because I'm going to keep you focused and moving you forward. You're going to have a power book that's going to help you get through. Your first module, you're going to learn how to visually look at yourself so that you can start making those decisions of what's your next step. And you're going to get full guidance because within that module, we're going to build a specific plan for you. And it's your personal plan because it's what you're personally struggling with. Remember at the beginning, we were talking about physical signs and emotional signs. Well, and if it was your kidneys that you're struggling with or your liver, and once you know that, I talked to you about how Anna did not understand any of this stuff, but within a month after we understood her first quiz that she took, we knew exactly where she was going to go and the foods that she was going to eat and the exercises that she was going to do. So you have full reset. And that's where you come in and you learn even deeper about how to nourish each organ. So you have more than 2 organs. Today we just talked about the 2. It's an easy way to do it when you're in with me live here. But you have all these different things, moving parts that can become complicated and difficult. But within each module, you have time to spend with me, ask questions. You have a private Facebook group. You have full material to be able to support each section, but you have the energy of me coming from me as your coach to be able to help guide you within the group. You're going to also be learning about your sabotages. So we're going to mentally align yourself so that you can make changes, so that you know that you're worth making these changes. A lot of us believe that we don't deserve anything. We'll take care of everybody else before we take care of ourselves. Or that we'll look at somebody else and not really understand how somebody else will go out and work out when they would never choose to do that because they believe you should be taking care of your kids like 24/7. So there's disconnects in the way that we think and the way that we are judging people. Well, this is where it's going to give yourself alignment so you can be nice and more gentle on people that just don't see things the way that you see things. You're going to have emails and videos and reminders how to unleash your energy. It's almost going to be like a game where you're going to have full success because you're going to be learning new things. You're going to have these big ahas and steps that you need to do to step in. You're going to have a daily ritual. Every single day, you're going to build upon that to build your energy, and you're going to redo what you're already doing right now, because wherever you're at right now, it's just a strategy that may not be working for you. Maybe you need to do one little tweak. Maybe you're going to find that you need to do many tweaks, and that can be overwhelming. So this 4-month program, you slowly grab and take new tools as you're going along. You're going to learn about your hormones, which is the chakras. Everywhere there's a chakra, there's a hormone issue. It could be your estrogen, it could be your thyroid, and the list goes on. You're going to learn about that. You're going to discover that as you have hormone alignments and as you're learning your sabotages, things become exponentially smoother in life and things just change. You have a membership into a Facebook group that's going to give you ample time to ask questions and get inspired. And I'll throw things in there that are going to really lay out a deeper plan that's going to be along with your videos that you're going to receive. Full support. You're going to get email support. So if you have a question, within 24 hours, it will be answered, or before that. There's so much more to be said with this 4-month program. And you want to have these results because what's life about? Not just making goals and never getting there, but let's start problem solving. Let's start getting that energy focused in on what we really, really want. And let's realize together that our body is beautiful. And how do we start looking at ourselves so we don't tear ourselves apart? And this is how you're going to do it. If you're ready and this works for you, I want you to be in the February coaching. And it's going to go for 4 months. If February does not work for you, I want you to go into the July. You have 2 options. So you're going to go to rhondaliebig.com/February. fit-camp. Once you do that, it'll give you information about each module. There'll be a button there that you can say, I'm ready, or that I want to know more information. Click that, and it's going to get you right in there. And we start February 1st. So you have a couple weeks to get yourself ready, get yourself moving along. And so I welcome you in. If this program sounds exciting and you're ready to problem solve instead of make goals that just do not get ever resolved, and instead of stop going into that failure area and feeling like everything's complicated, we're going to smooth it out. We're going to make it basic and simple because everything is going to be laid out in a nice way. You're going to learn in 4 different ways. We're going to have videos. We're going to have emails so you can read. We're going to have coaching calls so you can touch and feel new things. You can ask questions. You can apply the new stuff and come back and even ask more questions. And you can understand as you go along the results that other people are having within the group and the results that you want. So we all learn different ways, and this program is set up for all 4 ways that we truly individually learn. Some of us are book smart. Some of us are physical people that we want to apply something and we want that space to be able to test it so we can ask questions. Well, this program is set up for that. So I welcome you in to High Energy Unleashed. If this is not for you, I will see you next week, and we'll keep building your plan and we'll keep moving forward. All right. Thank you for spending time with me. You have an insightful day, and I'll catch up with you soon. See you on the other side.